we go. It. Hey Wade, how you doing, buddy? I got 5 pieces of wood I gotta put anchor seal on. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. I want to say it's a maple tree, but I'm not sure. That was down. So one of those woods I salvaged, but I'm putting anchor seal on it because I cut it today from a bigger log. So yeah, so I'm doing this. Today's not. Let's see. Yeah, this week is this last couple of weeks or this month has not been good for me and my family. My dog is not doing well, so and of course I'm not a happy camper, so I decided to do something. Let's get on here and do it anyways. It's just been kind of a long month. This whole year sucks, actually. I thought 2024 was going to be better than 23. Seems like it just keeps getting worse. Like, ever since COVID, nothing's gone right, So, I don't know how many of you guys use anchor seal, but once I cut these up, I had a little bit of moisture, and you can kind of feel it in it. It still kind of feels like it's wet. So, it's cold. So, even when it was sitting in the garage, it was. But, yeah, I've had to deal with my dog dying, and it's just a matter of days now. And, yeah, it's just hard to do anything. Plus, I have to be on call all the time now, so. Because yeah, her hips are giving out. I think she's giving out, but man, I'll tell you what, guys. I hope you, I hope you never have to go through this crap. You had a friend of mine down the street, good friend. He goes, "You'll probably get another dog in the future." I said, "No, I don't want to go through this again." And that's pretty much it. You don't want to go through this. It's like you're putting your own kid to sleep, and never waking up again. So, anyway, I've been watching Connie and Arts, what she does. I can't get John or anybody else, so I don't know what the deal is. I don't know. I guess they got me blocked or something. The only thing is, I don't. If they want you to join, I can't. I'm not gonna spend money on that. That's crazy. They, let's see. There's 5 people in there, and they all want me to join. Well, Christ's sake, if I spent the money that they would charge for just for one month, I'd be paying $60. No, Look at that. They can, I I just have people subscribe to me free, and that's all I'm going. All right, here. You want to show you something here? Oh, well, I don't get her stuff. I don't know why. I can't get Robin at all, or nor John. See, there's my latest. I got 3 coats on this. I got 2 more to go. And what I did with this when I first started out, first coat, I put it on here. I took it back in the drying room, let it sit overnight. The next day, I put it on here. I sanded it with 1,000 grit sandpaper. Then after 1,000 grit, I coated again, wipe on poly. I love the Minwax wipe on poly, the warm satin look. It looks good. That's all I use. Then I put it into the dry a little bit. The third coat, I did the same thing, except I put it in the kiln. So I put this in the kiln for an hour and let it set, and then I'll pull it out. It's dry enough where I could do another coat if I wanted to fill in. But I usually take my time with my stuff, so I'll put 5 or 6 coats on this thing easily. But I want to take my time on it because I want this to look, as best as I can. It does have some imperfections in it, but that's what happens when I do a bowl like this. So it isn't my greatest, but it's not my worst, though. It is. Hopefully, I could sell it next weekend or something. Well, I haven't. I haven't. It's funny. Who else out there? We got Grace. Hi, Grace. How you doing? Um, well, I can't. I don't get her at all. I don't. None of her. Her name doesn't pop up or nothing. It's like she blocked me or something. And I understand John's doing crocheting and not doing scroll saw work. Well, when I pull up, um, what about wood? I don't get anything. I get some other guy actually. So there's another guy. I don't know if he knows it. There's another guy. What about wood out there? Could about wood or whatever. Yeah. So I don't get John, and then he disappeared off my friends list. So there you go. Anyway, so I guess I'm just by myself. I'm a ghost. So. But I'm hoping after a couple weeks, this stuff setting, maybe I could turn it. Now I've got a lot of other. Um, I've kind of rearranged things in here in the shop. Now the wood is in there. Down here, there's a bunch of buckets down in here, and what I've done is kind of separated some of the smaller stuff from the bigger stuff. And I got wood all over the place, and I have to calm the place down and get rid of this junk. Um, I got a lot of scrap wood. I'm just tossing because I'm not using it. I'm not building as much as I used to. So I kind of gave up on it. Me being that artist, I'm not that good, so I do what I can do. Um, as long as you guys like my crap, what I've been working on is my train set. I'll probably go back to that here in a bit, but I have a whole different dimension. I got this thinking one day it was to change a bunch of stuff on my N-gauge train layout. So I went over to a friend of mine who has this shop that I've known for years. He sells N-gauge. He sells trains, but they're European, so they're not cheap. But found out he's gonna expand, and I was like, that's pretty cool. He's got some great European trains, man. I'll tell you, the models too. So and I tend to buy a lot of that from them because for some reason American manufacturers don't put out a lot of this stuff that I want. So, oh, so that's just so you know, that was probably, I think that's maple. This is definitely a oak. So I want to plaster this sucker with stuff before it starts splitting on me. There is some holes in there too, but so I don't know how this is going to turn out. There might be wormies in there. Wormies. Yeah, this wood I got from, we had a bad storm about a month ago. I snagged it. You guys, I don't even know if you guys do that or not, but man, when a storm comes through, if it's bad enough, there's a lot of down trees in our neck of the woods because there's a lot of century-old trees, and every time something comes down, I tend to go on a hunt, scavenger hunt for wood. You got to be careful though, because some of the wood might have bugs in it, and more than likely, that's the reason why it came down. All right, that's good there. I'm good. I'm okay with that. So now I gotta clean up. This is a plastic container, by the way, and I like this. The steel containers or pot metal containers tend to rot out too easily. So there are things that you can put on here too. What you should do is drill holes in between here where it goes down in here, so everything that's up here will run down in there. I used to do that, but I'm lazy. So, but yeah, my life has been hell. Both my wife and I have been struggling with my dog, so it's just hard. It's my kid, you know, around 15 and a half years. You know, all I can tell is life's too short, man. And all the politics and all the crap going on out there, you know, it's like, no, I don't even want to watch TV, don't want to do anything, don't want to hear the bad stuff because it's all bad crap, you know what I mean? So, hang on. All right, so, yeah, I can never have enough paper towels, guys. That's all you think. Yeah. Hey, Grace, thank you for subscribing. Well, I'm trying. You know, I'll just say this: I won't take credit for my knowledge because I know a lot. The problem is, I'm the Jeff of all trades, the master of none. So, okay, so this bowl here is one of a different way of everybody that people normally do subscribing. Okay, so see, I can't even think. Sorry, segmenting. Now, what I did when I started out here is I started out um, with a piece of walnut, and this is a piece of yellow ash. Now, when I was planning this, I'm going, there's a couple of ways you can do this. Now, the number one issue when you're doing it this way is the end grains. They have a tendency to burn. Sometimes when you sand, it brings the color from this over to here. That's because you mixed hardwoods with softwoods, and that's what they do. It's not a big deal because you usually can send it out most of the time. And even if you don't, it still adds color to it. Now there's a couple ways of doing this. Now I put a mortise in here, so that I could put it on my chuck. Well, you could do it different way. You could actually you could take a piece of wood like this size, glue it on there, you know, before I carved that, and have it a tenon sticking out, so that when you get down to the final finish part, you can carve that out. Now, if you had the right plate, the problem there's a plate that you put on where you can turn it around this way and have this. Well, the problem is with me, my plate's not big enough because my that's the way my lathe is. So it only go out so far, and they would be too small for this. So I won't be able to get it out far enough. Now I've got one, but it's the minimum that I can get for that lathe. So what do? So you kind of have to work with it and learn a little bit on how to. You might have to make a jig. I've actually made jigs in here where you can hold the inside. I'm still working on one where it'll work, where it'll hold this in place enough to where it won't fly off. But I don't know. I had one and it was working for a bit and then it flew off. So there you go. Now, now the one thing I could tell you is when you're finishing stuff off, you're gonna have drips and runs. You're gonna have little mishaps. So that's why you do sanding in between. All right, and you don't have to worry about when you're sanding. Just make sure you don't go too far deep, because you get like two or three coats on here, and you go back down to one, it might show. So you got to be careful of that. That's why I always use higher grit sandpaper than 320, more like 800 to 1,000. Um, Now this one I need to put probably two or three more coats on it before I'm satisfied with it. Now you see, if you can feel it and it's still rough, well, what I tend to do after the final coat, and it might feel just a hair not smooth, want it to be like a baby's butt. So what you want to do is get a buffer and put it on your drill press or put it on your lathe, whatever, or even in a drill, and buff this. Basically, buff it smooth, and that'll take care of any kind of thing. Don't want to really sand it. I mean, you could probably take 3,000 grit and sand it, and then wipe it off, and you probably won't notice you sand it. Just enough to get the bumps off. Yeah, I've been playing around with different techniques over the years. That seems to be, the thing. Like right here, you can feel a little bit of something on there. But I mean, all in all, I think it turned out all right. It's supposed to be a salad bowl. Now, the other thing is too. Now you can tell people this, but you just got to make them aware that what you put on here um, isn't food safe. All right, I think polyurethane is okay, but you don't want to use polyurethane on this in here. Then what I would normally do is take after I finish this all up where I want it to be, I could put butcher block sealer in here um, a couple of times, and that'll be fine. But you never want to stick this wood in water. I mean, you never want to let it sit in the sink. And you should do the same thing with all your wood utensils. You should keep them out of the water as long as possible because you could get a mold buildup on it. So that's why I always tell people if you're going to buy wooden spoons or forks or whatever for salads, um, always have a little thing of butcher block sealer with you, so you can wipe it off, clean it off a little bit, and put some on and keep it refreshed. Anybody sells it, so pretty much Ace, Lowe's, Home Depot, Menards, all those hardware stores sell them. So that's pretty. I could always give a lesson in that sometime, and I'll show you. But that's the main thing. You want to keep the luster in this. I try to do that with the inside, not the outside, because it does dull it a little bit. Um, Now, I've done a couple of different other things. This one I did a little bit differently because I wanted this to be used for other than just salad bowl too. You can use it for storing oranges, apples, onions. You can put peanuts in here and stuff like that. Something, you know, you can put cereal in here, but don't put milk. No, you don't want to eat out of this. It would be, I could make bowls like that, but yeah, you don't want to be like China or Taiwan. Taiwan, that one there, that's kind of what I like to make the most. The other kind is the rings where you glue them. But if I don't like the way the grain comes out. Now, usually when I pick up wood like this, I try to get the grain out of it. These are a little bit different. I don't know how that's gonna look. Um, what I did is that I picked this up off a bunch of houses that was a lot of wood damage, and the guy I had long logs that I was crawling. What I like to do is let them sit in the garage for a couple of days, maybe a week or so, before I bring them in and cut them up. Um, I've got a big log in there like this. I've got to fix my chainsaw for that. But um, I want to say this is probably a maple. I'm not sure. But the rings on it are kind of big. This one here, I might keep as a sample, actually. I don't know. I was thinking about this. Um, and just sanding this off and using this as a sample. And I should anchor seal that too. I don't know. Anyway, the rings on it are pretty wide. So it roughly the way this thing looks, it looks like it's well, it looks like it's about I don't know 10 to 12 years old, which I don't think. Maybe this is a branch off or something. I have to get down, and that's why I have to take and sand this down and see. I like to show people that I'm a tree hugger, so that's where my college education background was in forestry. So anyway, so now here's what I'm doing. I haven't done much in my shop, as you can see. Whoops. Eh. There you go. Okay, so you can see it's pretty clean in here, and I actually have to turn this on a little bit. So this one, my vacuum, that thing is 1979 or 1980, I think. I mean, I gotta finish taping it up. It works. There's nothing wrong with it. It's a canister. I can get bags for it, and I use it in here for cleaning up main part of the uh, floor. But okay, so you guys want to see the train room? You guys want to see the train room? Are you guys into that? I don't know how many of you guys are into models. I got RCs too. I got to figure out what to do. So, anyway, all right. So now, I'm going to show you what I'm doing. I got the light hooked up in this. All right, so what I'm doing here, there's a couple of things I taught myself with this. All right, one thing is this is plywood here on top, so it's kind of hard to go through with these pins that I use to hold things down. It doesn't exactly work as best. So I have to go at an angle sometimes. But what I've done, because see, what happens is when you go to use this, God, I moved. When you want to glue your road bed down, you have to get something to pin it down and then put this down. Well, what I did is I did a combination of a couple things. All right, I used these pins to hold this in place, and then I glued in little sections in here with a couple of different things. This is actually Tite Bond, and then Gorilla Glue. Okay, so that holds this track down. I can't use the little nails because they won't go through the road. Won't go through the what do you call it, down to the wood that's on the other side. So, okay, and the long and short of it, when I laid this out years ago, I wasn't thinking. All right, so I used foam board, styrofoam. That was not the best either. So now they came out with this stuff called Homosode. Well, Homosode makes a better base, and you could go through it. It's forgiving. At the same time, it's sturdy, and that's what I should have used on this. I mean, I have issues with, like, right in here. There's spots where I put plaster of Paris on it, and it's still not sticking right because of the styrofoam. I'm gonna have ballast on there anyway when I'm through, so you might not see it. But now the idea here with this is I'm gonna put a mountainscape in the back. Now I have a trap door in there, as you can see. I'm leaving that open, but there's going to be hills in the background, and I don't know how high I'm going to build them yet. I have to kind of play around with that. But what you do when you do this, with this track, I'm going to make this thing dead end over there. I have these dead end switch things, and what I'll do is I'll put one in that and put one in this end, and there'll be a light in there. But what will happen is I'm going to make the inside look like you could see, like I did on this one down here, where you could see the hills, the inside of the cave, and make it look like instead of leaving it screen or paper or something, you could see what it will look like. It'll look like you do go inside a tunnel, um, and I'll have lights. I actually have lights here that I could put inside the tunnels or wherever I want to put them. I might put them in that thing though. So the castle, the castle's going right here. Now the theme for this on top is that castle, and they'll have houses around here, and it's going to be like a German style type, like you're up in the Alps, the Swiss Alps or something. Um, that's the idea. So what I've been doing, there's going to be a lake down here too. I got to get resin. I have to figure. I don't know what kind of resin, but what I want to do is make a dock in there, and I've got to figure out a way. I don't know if they have little boats that I can put in there, but yeah, I'm going to put a dock in there, and hopefully I can get a guy, a little man that's fishing, that I can glue him on there. So we'll see how that works. I've already kind of made it look like what I wanted around it. The green is kind of just something I sprayed on with this stuff, and you get the color tints. I've got a whole bunch of them, and what I'll do is I usually mix up a bunch in a bottle like this, and then put a bunch out, and see what it looks like. And I've been colorizing the hills a little bit, because what I'll do is that now I'm going to start sticking trees and forming rock formations on the outside of it, and then we'll see what that looks like. And the white will go away. And then I could put all the rest of this other stuff in here, because right now I've got to figure out where I'm gonna put all my houses and stuff. You see, I've got a bunch of that right here. So, um, preferably these little houses will go up there. This stuff here is, I think that's HO. Yeah, that's HO stuff. That's not Engage. That's HO stuff. So I have HO too, by the way. So I'll put that up there. But all this Engage stuff will be scattered about. Houses like that being built. Gas stations will be down here somewhere. They got a mill. So that's the other thing. Now, this mill is a little bit dirty. I have to clean it. But what I'll do is I'll put the mill, I might put the mill up here a little bit somewhere. Well, I got a couple of them, so it isn't like, I was going to put it up where the forest was, which is basically over here, and make a little river going to it, because you can see right here is a little, see, that's the other thing. You got to figure out You got to figure out what you're going to do with your houses and stuff. It kind of gives you an idea where you want to put things. Um, so, and then I was thinking about putting that mill somewhere where it's adjacent to the lake in a way. But I don't know. It's in my head, and I just start throwing it out there. So, anyway, that's kind of what I'm doing tonight for a half hour. I appreciate you guys watching me. Sorry I'm a little down. I'm kind of want to go upstairs. I have to keep an eye on my dog. So I want to wish you guys all happy Wednesday and Weird Wednesday. I call it Weird Wednesday now. So maybe I'll be back on tomorrow. I don't know. I don't know when I'll be back on. I just want to let people know I was alive. Again, thank you, Grace, for subscribing to me. Let your friends know. I'm into creating crafts too. So not just doing turning. So if you guys are interested, I'll be doing a craft day and I'll be doing a tool day and a train day. I have RC cars. I can always show you how to make your own Lincoln Logs. I have them, but I can make them. So anyway, thanks again. God bless. Have a great night.